Happy birthday to Bobby Wood, B.O.B., Paulo Dybala, but most importantly, yours truly. The World Cup is in less than a week, and I think it's time I finally talk about the matches that I am looking most forward to. Now, these are matchups I picked because of how entertaining I think they could be, and also the history aspect. I mean, you guys already know I love history, just look at the previous videos. By the way, I'm only including matches from the first and second match days. The third one will have a separate video, because then we'll have a clearer idea of which games to really look out for. You'll have more context about what's going on and who could possibly win their group and who could be runners up, so we're just gonna wait till then. Time. Today's sponsor is OneFootball. OneFootball allows you to follow your favorite teams, leagues, and even players. You can get live match scores, alerts, player ratings, and know exactly what's going on with instant up-to-date news. In addition to all these great new features, OneFootball has given us something even better. The app is now offering Indian Super League fans everywhere except in the Indian subcontinent the opportunity to stream all live matches and highlights. You can even set reminders that way you don't miss a game. But it's not just the Indian Super League, it's also other great major leagues, and it's also for free. And remember, this is all free, so go down in the description, click that link, download OneFootball for either Apple or Android, because I promise you won't want to miss out. You can dance in my heart. The first one that I listed though will be Senegal versus the Netherlands on November 21st. Netherlands come into this tournament as a very popular dark horse pick. Their possession-based football is very entertaining to watch and their attack is stellar. Striker Memphis Depay will want to make a statement throughout this tournament, especially in the opener. And the defense is pretty strong too, with Virgil van Dijk as the main star player. You could have either the likes of Stefan de Vrij or Matthijs de Ligt, I'm not too sure which one though. On the other hand, we have the Senegalese, who are very solid on defense with the likes of center back Kalidou Koulibaly and goalkeeper Edouard Mendy. Then you got Sadio Mane with his blistering speeds and threatening abilities on the counter. They too are a pretty popular dark horse pick, with many predicting them going all the way to the quarterfinals. It's possession-based football versus counter-attacking. This could easily see the game open up on numerous opportunities, especially with Senegal having a player like Idrissa Gana Gueye in the midfield, who excels in tackling and has found his form as of recent. November 23rd, Germany versus Japan. Germany and Japan don't have much history when it comes to football, but if you look outside of that, oh boy. Germany are a strong team with a head coach that oversees some very entertaining football. You got the likes of Neuer in goal. Rudiger is a very strong center back. Midfield has tons of tools to play with, the likes of Joshua Tom Brady Kimmich and Leon Goretzka. And of course you have the great attacking options of the assisting king, the creative catalyst Thomas Müller, and the up-and-coming 8 goals, 4 assists for Bayern so far, Jamal Musiala. And while Japan are very inferior in comparison, you can never count out the Japanese. 2018 proved that. Japan have their best squad in years, but you know, as I said before, it definitely could be better. Defense was a brick wall during qualifiers, and it is going to play a pivotal role in this match. Wataru Endo, who has plenty of Bundesliga experience, if he's healthy, he's gonna run that engine and he's gonna be a fun player to watch. Watch out for the other Bundesliga talent in this team, Daichi Kamada. So far for Frankfurt, he's been their best player. And watch out for Kaoru Mitoma, he is that guy. If Japan wants someone who can score goals, it's Kaoru. As I've said, Germany should win this, but in past tournaments, they have been underperforming, so you never know. November 23rd will also provide us with Belgium versus Canada. Belgium and Canada have only ever played each other once before, and that was back in 1989 when Belgium won 2-0. They will meet again in Group F, where I honestly see a goal fest cooking up. Belgium has one of the strongest attacks on paper in this tournament. Romelu Lukaku and Kevin De Bruyne are the two men mainly responsible for the carnage this team can produce. Although, I'm not too sure about Lukaku right now, but Michy Batshuayi is still a good option. But the problem with Belgium is their defense. It poses a lot of problems.
It's awful.
They're one of the worst teams when it comes to giving up shots on target. And the ages of Toby Alderweireld and Jan Vertonghen could literally sign up for a senior citizenship. They aren't anywhere near as good, and they're much, much slower. Their midfield could also be an issue too. Axel Witsel at age 33 is not the same player he used to be. And for a team like Canada, this is perfect. This is ideal. This is literally written in the stars for them. Canada based their team off a very strong brotherhood and also the counter. counter. Speedy and technical players like Tajon Buchanan and Jonathan David could overwhelm the backline, and a player like Alphonso Davies could literally just tear it apart. So yeah, despite Belgium's superiority when it comes to FIFA ranking, I'd say this is going to be a really fun match to watch.
I almost forgot, you guys should totally check out my fantasy league for the World Cup. Please.
On November 25th, we have Wales versus Iran. Iran and Wales have only ever played once. It was back in 1978, where Wales won 1-0. For me, these two teams genuinely feel pretty level when it comes to quality. Wales have a pretty decent team. The likes of Wayne Hennessy is a great shot stopper. You got solid leadership from Ben Davies from the back. Aaron Ramsey in tournament form is like his best version of himself. And of course, you have the X Factor, Gareth Bale, in his first World Cup. He's about the only outlier when it comes to this entire matchup. On the Iranian side, head coach Carlos Queiroz could honestly be considered the founder of the Iranian FA, and no one would bat an eye. His teams have always been built on the foundation of a more than solid defense that can take on the heat of the world's best. Then you got the intimidating figures up top of Mehdi Taremi and Sardar Azmoun. If both are healthy, they are deadly for the national team. I mean, really, it's hard to tell who's going to come out on top for this one. Next up, we have November 26th, France versus Denmark. France are the reigning champions, and despite injuries, have a star-studded squad. The likes of center back Raphael Varane and strikers like Kylian Mbappe and Karim Benzema. Denmark, though, have the talent and the form currently. The defensive duo of Andreas Christensen and Joachim Andersen is more than reliable. And if that wasn't enough protection, if things do get messy, there's still Kasper Schmeichel. And then you have within the attack Christian Eriksen, the creative catalyst of this team. He's returned to this sport like 2021 summer never even happened, and it's honestly incredible. These teams also have a bit of history too. In fact, in the last World Cup, they actually played each other. It was a boring 0-0 draw, which made baseball look like an actual fun sport to watch. But even before then, they actually played each other in the 2002 World Cup, where Denmark beat France 2-1. In this matchup, France has 8 wins, but not too far off is Denmark with 6. And in the most recent matches, Denmark has won twice. So can they continue their winning streak, or will France respond when it counts? Finally, we have November 27th. This one is one that I've been looking forward to since the draws. Spain versus Germany. For me, when I think of Spain versus Germany, I think of 2010, that Carlos Puyol iconic header. Spain and Germany have history that goes all the way back to 1935, where, yeah. In the late 2000s to early 2010s, these two were powerhouses of world football.
Y'all make me sick, you get on my damn nerves. Y'all could kick rocks and go to hell all in the same place. Y'all make me sick. I can't stand y'all.
However, over the last decade, these two juggernauts have seen natural decline from the golden generations of the past. Both now overlook a new generation of young stars making names for themselves. Jamal Musiala and Kai Havertz for Germany. Then there's Pedri and Ferran Torres for Spain. Both teams also play some very attractive football, so honestly, I could see this as a classic. Now for some honorable mentions. Maybe even dishonorable. First, we have November 22nd with Mexico versus Poland. On paper and just in general, it sounds like this could be a good game, but I promise you this will only produce some of the ugliest football you have ever seen. You have an underwhelming attack versus one of the most primitive ones in this tournament. There's also November 24th, Brazil versus Serbia. This could be a good match, but for some reason I just feel like Brazil's gonna win this by multiple goals. I don't know, they're just very, very good. That's the thing. But it will be interesting to watch because it'll be, I would say, Brazil's biggest test yet. And also, this will be a time for Serbia to really prove themselves on the world's biggest stage. November 25th, or Black Friday in the US, we have USA versus England. The football will be less attractive than Florida city planning, but the memes and the toxicity on social media will go throughout before, during, and even after, long after the match is done. Finally, there's November 26th, Argentina versus Mexico. Is Argentina probably going to win this by at least 2 goals? Yeah, but despite Mexico being absolutely nowhere near the level of Argentina, there's history they just can't forget. 2010 round of 16 where the infamous offside goal happened, but most notably 2006 during the last 16, where the most insane World Cup goal you'll ever see in your entire life during extra time sent Mexico packing.
You can't keep getting away with it!
So yeah, those are my must-watch matches for the World Cup of 2022. I'd love to hear what you guys think, and if you have any matches that weren't listed in this video, leave them down in the comments. But of course, a massive thank you to all our patrons: Janos Balas, Sensley Hank Dennis, El Favi, Milioe009, Alex Rod, Ulta, Amin Suomes, Aresan, Daniel Ortiz, Francisco Hernandez, Ice Shadow Ninja, Juan Leras, Miguel Munoz, Nguyen Dim Mintang, Return Fire, Rory Byrne, subscribe to Tendetem, The Motor Jive, Tomicus, Vanilla Mexican 17, Victor, Chris Damasceno, David Dunn, Declan Malloy, Dominic Griffin, Emmett Shea, Lewis, Joe Aparicio, Jordan Clavet, Mohammed Al-Bokhail, MX Weeb, Patrick Barley, President Pulisic, Unbroken Persona, that's right, there's a new one, the Q-Fam. If you'd like to join the Patreon, there'll be a link down below and up in the annotations. You can follow my Twitter if you'd like. We're still pretty close to 10,000. Be nice to reach it. You can also follow my Instagram if you want. Follow my TikTok, trying to get to 15,000 there. And of course, you can follow my semi-active Twitch. I'm not sure if I'll be streaming watch-alongs on that or YouTube. I'll keep you guys updated. But until then, I'll see you guys.